I needed a new game. For the first one, I'd already done the Mad Libs. How can you make a fun and silly horoscope for yourself and send it to your friends? And for this one, what I did, since he's a pirate, is I made a pirate translator. So if you've ever been to Google Translate, translate is something to or from Spanish, to or from French. On mine, you can translate English into pirates. And then you can translate a website, you can translate an email, and it's just something else that's just silly and fun that just keeps it in the mind of people. So then the next thing that I like to do, whenever you do anything marketing-wise, whether it's you, whether it's me, whether it's a publishing house, a movie industry, or whatever, the most important things to do, aside from branding and keeping your cross-pollination in mind, which would be, like, for example, follow me on Twitter, friend me on Facebook, all these things so that people know what it is they can do, how can they get in touch with you, how can they find out more. What you really want, the goal every time, is brand evangelism. What is brand evangelism? A brand evangelist is that person who loves you, loves your book, loves your movie, loves your socks that you designed yourself so much that they tell everybody. They can't stop tweeting about it, they can't stop Facebooking about it, they invite people to parties on their house so that they can put the movie on or read out loud from the book or whatever it is. That is the person that you want to be your new best friend. So how can you get somebody to be a brand evangelist? Well, first you can't make anybody do it. They have to genuinely like whatever it is. If you have a favorite book, or if you have a favorite movie, or if you have a favorite actor or a favorite band, then you already know what it is to be a brand evangelist. If you tell all your friends, oh, are you kidding? They're coming in town for a concert, we've all got to go. They're like, I don't even know who that is. You're like, it doesn't matter, you'll love them, I promise. That's what we're looking for here. So what I do to do my part with this is, with the social media, that really helps to get people interested in interacting, but interacting how? Why should they leave a comment on my Facebook blog? Why should they leave a post on my blog, or any other blog, right? Anywhere, or anybody else's Facebook. The truth is, people want two things. They want to be entertained, and they want stuff for free. So that's where samples come into play. If you have a product that you can give away, great. Give away a sample of lipstick, give away a sample of perfume, give away a sample of whatever it happens to be. If you don't, if it's a DVD, obviously you can't give the DVD away. You can't break it up in tiny pieces and give part of it away either. It's not going to work. Same with a book. It's a book, it's a whole book. You don't want me just to rip out chapter 1. However, I can email it to you. So every year, before my book comes out, starting 30 days before, you'll see here, it says 30 delicious sins, sign up here. So for 30 days, you get a scene a day in your inbox, and I do giveaways. If you say something, anything about the book, on my blog, on my Facebook, on Twitter, anywhere, you are eligible to win a free copy. And I've given away already in the past week 6 copies of the book, and I'll keep doing so. And that gets people involved, that gets people reading it, and the more they read the scenes, even though they won't get to the end of the book, you know, within the first 30 days, the more they read of the scenes, the more interested they are in the story, the more they want to know what happens next. What's going to happen? Is he going to find the guy who killed his brother? What's he going to do to that guy when he finds him? Those kinds of questions, then those people become brand evangelists. They start posting on their own Twitter, on their own Facebook, and they help spread the word, which is the goal. So when you're thinking outside the box to do things like that, another friend of mine, Diana Peterfreund, she writes young adult books. Her books are about unicorns. Now if you're thinking rainbows, think again. Her heroine of her book has to kill them because they are evil and will kill you if you don't kill them first. So how do you get the word out that it's not your mother's unicorn? Well, she did a public service announcement. If you went to her microsite, you could watch a commercial by the US government, in which, or actually by an organization, in which they explain to you the dangers of a unicorn, and they have one that's in a cage, and it's trying to get out, and kill the people that are sitting there, trying to warn the public about these horrible animals that are on the loose. So it's great, it's funny. People look at it, they laugh hysterically, they send the link to all their friends. That's the idea. So that when you or anyone is walking in a bookstore or walking somewhere, how do you know? So if you ever hear people talking about a book, people talking about a movie, about a new CD, about something that they're going to download, then you think to yourself, how do they know about it? Because it's not by accident. Somebody spent a lot of time thinking of exactly the right kind of art, exactly the right kind of message. They had to make it fun and entertaining enough, not only to interest you, to interest that person, but to make them act on it. To make them think, you know, all of my friends are going to be so excited if they could just see this great unicorn video, or if they could just translate all their emails into pirate, their lives would be improved, obviously. And that's exactly what you're looking for. So then you need to track whatever it is that you do, benchmark it. Is it working? Is it not working? Did you build a website and nobody comes to it? Then maybe you need it to be more fun. Maybe it needs more everything, cranked up to 11. Or maybe you need to do what's called seeding. And seeding is when, for example, if somebody's coming to town for a concert, you know about it. You know about it months in advance. You start hearing about it on the radio. You start seeing flyers about it wherever you go. You start hearing about it on Twitter, or on Facebook, things like that. So you've got to get the word out so that when you do have an event, for example, this book comes out April 5th. So April 8th, I'm having a party, a book launch party at the Barnes & Noble Carolyn at 6:30. Now, I know that, Barnes & Noble knows that, but what are we going to do to make people know about it? And what are we going to do to make the people that know that on that Friday there's going to be a party tell other people? Well, what am I going to do? I'm having people that are coming, they'll be dressed in costume as the characters, and they will walk around and they will talk to you. They can talk to you about the book, there's going to be a pirate there, there's going to be a lady in Victorian gear, and all this kind of thing. It will be fun. And so then that makes people more interested. And so then I say, okay, well, you can come to the signing, get your photo taken with the pirate, you can get your photo taken with, a historical lady in her beautiful gown, and then later we'll have a party across the street, and we can toast to the new book. So pretty much the bulk of my work, it feels like, as an author, and probably as an actor or a musician or anybody else, isn't making the CD or making the book or making the movie. It's everything that comes after that. It's how do you get that into the minds and into the imaginations, really, of everyone else. You have questions? Sure.
What was the title of Too Wicked to Kiss, the original one?
That's a good question. The original title for Too Wicked to Kiss, and I'll show that cover again, was Touched. Touched at the time meant crazy. Also, she got visions every time somebody touched her, so it had kind of that dual meaning. But the publisher was probably correct when they said nobody's going to think that. They're going to think it's some like crazy molestation book or something, and they're like, we need to change the title. And I was like, oh. Like, if it only makes sense after you read it, no. And I was like, okay. Fair enough. So yeah, that didn't work out.
When you write a book, when they go over it, do they change the content of it a lot?
That's an excellent question. Well, that depends. Well, the first thing it depends on is going to be the quality of the manuscript when it comes in. If it comes in and it's full of plot holes, or it's full of some other element that perhaps for external reasons, if you write a book about a bombing and this happened to people, and suddenly 2 months before your book comes out there's 9/11, well, now it's a different audience. Now nobody wants to read about that. They have enough of it in their day-to-day lives, that kind of thing. Sometimes you have to stop a book from production, or sometimes you have to change it, that kind of thing. Also, there are just the kinds of inconsistencies that you will find in movies or anything else. If you go to the Internet Movie Database, imdb.com, you can always go, and one of my favorite things to do after watching a movie is to see everything that was wrong with it that I missed when I was watching it, and you can see all the goofs and everything like that. So for example, with this book, when I turn in the manuscript, there's a scene where the heroine is being attacked by someone, and she throws something at him and hits him on the head and is able to kind of break away a little bit. Unfortunately, she was not carrying that item with her when the guy ran toward her. So then the copy editor wrote a note on the side. She's like, at what point did somebody walk up and hand that to her, Erica? Good one. So then you can change it. Go ahead.
So that goes all into like what you were just saying. It goes into like the 18 months, like you said.
Exactly, yeah. In the 18 months of copy editing, the first thing that happens is my editor reads it. And he will give back any kind of global changes. So in some people's cases, for example, if you write about a serial killer, maybe you'll say your killer is too unbelievable, or he's not scary enough, or you need to tone down the religious aspect, or whatever it is. Or for example, even for my books, which are a little bit paranormal, they're the kind of paranormal that maybe is possible and maybe isn't possible, depending on what you think. She sees a vision.